Welcome to the Gauntlet.
Oof.
Welcome to From Center Ice, the podcast. This is Courtney.
I'm JACALYN.
You're back!
I'm back.
You're back!
I'm back.
It was really weird not recording with you last week.
It was weird listening to my own podcast without me on it.
I can imagine.
Yes, it was strange. You sounded different.
I sounded different?
Yeah. I feel like you used more of an interview voice than a conversation voice.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, my mom and I were talking about it in the car on the way back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had an interview voice.
Oh, you do. It's like your customer service voice.
Huh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to analyze the videos I shoot. Be like, does my voice sound different or no?
You use a different voice. I'm
I
not
do.
sure how to describe it, but...
That's really interesting. I never thought that I did. I learned something new.
Like, it wasn't like that the whole episode, though. Like, once you settled into it, you were good. Like, it was just a regular conversation. I think it was once you started talking more about the Hawks, it was fine. But, like, when you were asking about the Avs...
Interesting.
It was more interviewy.
That's so weird. Huh.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, you were gone last week, and it was
Yeah.
very odd.
It was not a great situation.
No.
I had a family emergency I had to take care of.
Yeah. So, we filled in with a Mile High episode
You did do that.
about the Avs.
Yes.
Yes. But you would know that if you were following us on social media.
Any of them.
Yeah, but if you're not, you can follow us on Twitter at VFCenterIcePod or on Instagram at FromCenterIcePod.
Follow us on Facebook, too. We've got
Yeah,
a page on there.
We do have a Facebook page. We never mentioned that.
No, it's just From Center Ice.
Yeah. It's out there.
It's
Our logo's there.
Check it out.
You'll see all the things.
Like us on there.
Yeah, do that. Or you can email us at vfcenterice@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do that.
Do that.
Tell
And
us.
subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yeah. And YouTube, even though that's... It's there.
It's there.
It's there.
It's
It's nothing
just-
special yet.
No, it's just the audio recording that you're listening to here, but you can find it on iTunes
Mm-hmm.
as well. I mean, not iTunes. Well, it is on
Well,
iTunes.
that too.
Or, oh gosh. It's been a day.
That it has, in every way.
Nothing.
Except the hockey way. It hasn't been a huge day in hockey land.
It really hasn't, huh?
No, just every other possible way.
Yeah. I mean, my day wasn't even that exciting. I woke up and I was super tired and that hasn't gone away.
Mm.
And I've had zero motivation to do anything. So it's a miracle I put these notes together even.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, we'll see how they are.
It's something.
It's something.
It's something for us to talk about.
It is. Oh, goodness. Yeah, like us on all the things and do all that and go follow Rockford Buzz, too, because this is a Rockford Buzz production.
Damn right.
Yeah, it is. So some of these tweets that I have were from the week prior to last because you weren't here.
Yes.
And I had more, but then I got rid of them because in the hockey world, anything past like 3 days is totally
Yeah, it's
irrelevant anymore.
I was kind of surprised you didn't go over, like, just some stuff.
I was planning on it.
Yeah.
I had them. I had the tweets, and then we just didn't.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's fine.
and it still ended up being an hour and a half.
It did. I was surprised.
Me too. We finished recording. I was like, oh my gosh, that was long. There's just a lot going on over there with the natural disasters, I guess.
Apparently. I love that you call them that.
Well, they are that, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So, now we will take a journey around the league, which we did not do last week.
Nope.
So there was news at the end of February about Bouwmeester. He hasn't made a decision about the rest of his career yet, but he's going to sit out the whole of this season and playoffs.
The implant that he got put in shocks his heart if it gets above a certain rate, does it not?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what he had done.
Probably. I'm assuming he's retiring. They're just
has
not
to
going to
retire.
say it yet. I don't
Like,
know
he
why.
has to. Maybe it's something to do with his contract. I don't know.
Maybe?
But, like, dude's not playing again.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, who knows? And then Steven Stamkos got injured.
He did.
Yeah, he went in for surgery for a core muscle injury.
Ow. So like a hernia?
Maybe?
Okay.
That just sounds miserable.
Yeah.
But he's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks, and this was February 29th, so it's only been
Leap day.
Yeah, it's been like a little over a week.
What day was Leap Day?
It was a Saturday.
It was a Saturday?
Yeah, so I'm going to say it's been a week and a couple days then.
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
So he's still got like 5 to 7 weeks.
Yikes.
I don't know why Stamkos can never stay healthy.
I don't know. He's not that old, is he?
No, not at all.
What the heck?
But the dude could not stay healthy for anything. It's very odd.
Some players are just plagued with the injury bug.
That's true. And then Chris Kreider over with the Rangers got injured. He fractured his foot.
Ow.
And he doesn't need surgery, but he's in a walking boot and is going to be out for at least a couple weeks, apparently. This was on the 28th, so again, it's been a week and a couple days, but he just signed that big old contract with New York.
Oh, he did!
Yeah.
I was wondering why his name sounded so fresh in my mind.
Yeah, he signed that big contract, and of course, it's not like a career-threatening thing or anything, but that was basically like their deadline acquisition was re-signing him, and then, nope, he's out.
Oof.
And then with the other two being out that were in the car wreck, like that's...
Oh, yeah. They're still not back, are they?
No. Yeah. So it's been an interesting time for the Rangers. And then, Jesus, February 29th, and Leon Draisaitl hit 100 points in February.
Wow.
February.
But he needed that extra February day.
He did. He couldn't have done it the 28th. He needed that 29th to hit 100 points in February.
100 points, though.
Yeah, so I looked it up today to see what he was at, and he's at 110 now. So he's only gotten 10 since then.
Only 10?
He's only gotten 10.
Oh my god.
That's bonkers. He has 43 goals and 67 assists.
What the fuck?
For 110 points. So then I looked up, like, the other point leaders.
Yeah.
And number 2 is McDavid.
Of course.
Like, Jesus,
I mean,
two-headed monster there. But he has 96.
Okay.
So he has 14 less points than Draisaitl.
Uh-huh.
And then you have Pasternak at 94, Panarin at 93, Nathan McKinnon with 93, Marchand with 86, Kucherov with 84, Patrick Kane with 82, Matthews with 79, and Huberdeau with 78. That's a spread.
It is
That's a spread.
Yes. All the way down to 78 for the top 10.
What, that's 32-point spread?
Something like that. That's a lot.
Within the top 10? Yeah.
That's a big disparity there.
It's insane.
Yeah, 110 points!
By the beginning of March.
Wow.
I just want to see what he ends up with. Like, it's insane. And let's see, I'm going to look at the standings now. We have the Western Conference. They're only second in their division. They're behind Vegas. They have 82 points.
Okay.
So they're 37, 24, and 8. And Draisaitl has 110 points.
That's just bonkers.
They can't even be first in their division. And they're 10 points behind first in the conference. Like,
I don't understand.
Edmonton, what is happening?
What are you?
And they're only a plus 11 in goal differential.
Oh my god.
What is happening?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Like, what would this team be if they didn't have Draisaitl and McDavid?
Ass.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, yes. I just don't understand. I don't get how you can have the best player in the world and then the best player points-wise in the league right now.
Uh-huh.
And still be 10 points behind your own conference leader.
Right.
How can they not surround these guys with better players? I don't get it.
It's a mess.
I don't get it.
It is a mess and a half.
Yeah. And then I saw this tweet from Yahoo Sports, which was from February 26th, but I thought it was fun.
Okay.
They said, "You've been kidnapped. You get to send one sports-related tweet that would alarm your followers that you're in trouble. What's your tweet? What would your tweet be to alarm your followers?
To alarm my followers?
One sports-related tweet."
Oh boy. You could have some real fun with this.
You could.
Just fresh in my mind, it would have something to do with Lucas Carlson, but I feel like that's weak. Because I still haven't actually watched him play a game in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, now you're not gonna because he's injured.
Oh, right. He's in concussion protocol, right?
Sure
Is.
It
the puck to the dome?
Yep.
That would not be a fun experience. Maybe, like, I'm giving up on Corey Crawford. Like, I'll finally admit it. Corey Crawford sucks.
I think that was what I replied with when I retweeted this. It was something like, Corey Crawford isn't even elite, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's alarming.
Yeah,
from you.
I think anybody would be concerned if they were following me, so that would be mine. And then we've had the NHL GM meetings lately in Boca Raton, and they were discussing the emergency backup goalie situation.
How much do you think they actually met? Like, you're in a tropical place.
Right.
I feel like this is more of a vacation.
It really is.
Like,
that's why they don't get much done while they're down there. Like, have it in a cold climate, nobody wants to be outside, get your work done, and then go on vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they decided to not even change the emergency backup goalie situation.
What else could you do?
Right.
What are they supposed to do if both of your goalie, like, do they really want to dress a player? That's stupid.
It is.
You
I don't
can't,
know.
That's what they do in football. If
right.
both of your quarterback in the NFL, if both of your quarterbacks get injured, then they dress a player as quarterback. Because Tariq Cohen was lined up to be our next quarterback. Like, if
Mitch?
Trubisky and I don't even remember who our backup is.
Yeah, Chase Daniels?
That's the one.
All right.
Good job.
I don't know where that came from. That came from deep within my soul.
But it bubbled up like a geyser.
It did.
Chase Daniels.
Chase Daniels.
But yeah, if both of them got injured, then he was next in line to throw the ball. But yeah, that's not the same in hockey. Like,
right.
Goaltending is such a specific skill set. You can't just...
It would be pretty interesting, though.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't hate to see it, but, like, there's such a chance they would get injured.
I was going to say, there's a high probability of a growing injury right there.
Any type of injury, man.
Yeah.
The way that these goaltenders move...
Yeah, a normal player isn't used to moving
Absolutely
like that.
not.
Like, a knee injury, a groin injury, hip injury.
Any way you can move, you're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. So the tweet I had in the notes was from Emily Kaplan, and after saying they weren't going to change it, she said, "The sentiment is it's rare occurrence and reacting now would be purely reactionary.
Exactly.
Most like the system in place." It was just so ridiculous because there was such a big fuss made about it.
What is the problem?
I don't know.
First off, what was Chris Versteeg's issue? Like, why did he have such a...
I could not give two fucks about what Versteeg thinks right now because he was our captain and he abandoned us. Yeah, he was just like, no, I'm going to go overseas because I think I'm taking playing time away from the developing prospect.
Okay, sure. I appreciate the sentiment. But
just don't come over at all.
Yeah, you shouldn't have...
You shouldn't have been here in the first place.
There's a lot of things in life that just... Why do it in the first place?
True.
Why? Just why?
Like making a big deal about the e-bugs.
Dude, it's fine. It's fine. It happens, like, maybe twice a season. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like...
I just thought it was really dumb how much of a fuss was made about it.
Yeah, I don't understand why the backlash suddenly started with this situation. Like,
Me either.
It didn't happen with what's-his-face when Corey had his appendectomy.
Foster.
Was that him?
Oh, no, that was Eric Zamborski?
Yeah, Zamborski, yeah. Yeah.
And then it was Scott Foster when Delia and Forsberg went down.
Right.
I don't know. A lot of people...
Delia and Forsberg were NHL goalies at one point.
That was a dark time.
Oh my god. I think
it was
that out.
Cam Ward and Forsberg.
Yes, but then Cam Ward did something playing soccer.
No, that was
pregame,
Forsberg.
Right? Oh, that was pregame.
Wait.
What happened to Ward?
Wait, no, it wasn't Cam Ward that season. Cam Ward was the year after.
Yeah, because that was when your dad got his shoulder done the first time, right?
Right. So it was... That was when Corey had his first concussion, I think.
Yeah.
So it was Forsberg and Glass. And then it was Forsberg and Delia. And it was just a rotation between Chicago and Rockford, like who's going to get called up and who's going to get sent down. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Wow, dark times.
Oh, we thought this season was bad. Goodness gracious. Oof. But yeah, a lot of people were saying, like, just because it was against Toronto and there was, like, no winning situation.
Okay, I understand what they're saying about him being an employee of the team that he's playing against. That could have been, like, I see how that could be looked at as, like, you know, he could throw the game for them.
I guess, but, like,
he won. Like,
he won. It's the rules. Like, the NHL approves the emergency backups.
Right.
So it's not like he's just some guy they pulled in and was like, well, this guy's available. Right. Like, no, you have an emergency backup for the game.
Yeah.
He was the emergency backup for that game, so that is why he went in when an emergency backup was needed.
Yep.
It's just silly. It's really silly.
Like I said, I just don't understand why this time was suddenly the time.
Every time it happens, it's a great story.
Exactly!
So, like, this time he was using his platform to promote kidney awareness and stuff like that.
He's not an amputee, transplant.
Yeah, he had a kidney
transplantee.
Yeah. Yeah, and then before that, Scott Foster was a great story in Chicago. And
right.
So, it was dumb. It was dumb!
All of it is dumb.
And I think people who don't like the system are dumb, too. At least when it comes to this. Because, like I said, every time it happens, it's a great story. Just let people have fun.
Yes.
Nothing else in this league is fun. Just let people have fun. God! So then, on March 3rd, the Sharks and the Leafs were playing each other, and Steve Dangle tweeted, "This is the first Leafs-Sharks game to not feature Patrick Marleau in over a decade, right?" And Sportsnet Stats replied and said, "Since March 26, 1997.
It's been 13 years?
13 years since there was a Leafs-Sharks game that Patrick Marleau has not played in."
Jesus Christ. That's an insane factoid.
Right. And he still doesn't have a cup.
Damn. That poor guy.
And I really don't want him to get it this season, because then it would be Pittsburgh. And
I forgot he moved.
He did. And I just can't stomach them winning the cup again.
No. None of the Pennsylvanias. No. Well, Flyers would be fine.
Would it?
Not Boston.
It would definitely be interesting to see a gritty celebration.
Yeah, I'm okay with the Flyers. I'm not okay with any of the yellow teams.
No, yellow's just a bad color.
Yeah, no Pittsburgh, no Boston, no Nashville.
No.
Who else is yellow? Are there other yellows?
Anaheim sometimes, but they're more gold.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, none of the yellows.
No yellows allowed in the cup.
No. Going back to the injury talk, Johnny Boychuk on the island?
Oh, he's the one that got his freaking eyeball almost gouged out, right?
Yeah, he got his freaking eyelid sliced with a skate blade.
90 stitches.
90 stitches to your eyelid.
Oh my god, he's so fucking lucky it didn't hit his eye.
Seriously.
Oh, God.
Like, honestly, what a freak accident.
Honestly.
But that's all it takes.
Oh, God. Just
imagine what it looks like.
I want to see it so bad.
I wonder if they'll release a picture when he's, like, more healed up.
I definitely want to see it. I mean, I always want to see gross stuff like that.
I'm just so curious. How do you get 90 stitches on an eyelid?
Layers, man.
Ugh. It looked bad.
It looked real bad.
And I mean, it was bad. A skate to the eyes.
But it could have been so much worse.
Oh, he got so lucky.
So lucky. Oh so my God.
Which then prompted the whole discussion about should there be full face protection in the
players
NHL.
Would never go for that.
They would never go for it. It took forever just to get visors to be mandatory. And even then, people are grandfathered in that don't wear visors. So there's no way.
He was wearing a visor, right?
Yes.
It went under the visor.
Right.
Which is why people are calling for full face.
Correct.
But it's not going to happen.
I don't see it happening.
I don't know if it should happen. I mean, obviously you want the players to be safe, but...
Right.
I think it would affect the game too much because of visibility and everything.
I don't know. It's an interesting discussion. I would like to hear what players think about it.
Me too. I'm not like super informed on it. I just feel like maybe it would affect too much.
Yeah.
Because I know there was a problem when the NFL updated their helmet standards.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of, like, I mean, obviously Antonio Brown was not happy about
I forgot about that.
More face stuff on his mask, but but yeah, I know that was a big issue when they mandated different helmets.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it happening, but you never know.
You never know. It is the NHL.
If it does happen, it's going to happen very, very slowly.
Yeah.
Just like easing fighting out of the game, like very, very slowly.
Uh-huh.
But. Well, this tweet was from March 4th, so it's a little outdated now.
I mean, that's this month.
It is, but, standings-wise, things change, like...
Very, very quickly.
Yeah. So this was a tweet from Matt Larkin, and he said, if the playoffs started today, we would get a Philly-Pittsburgh and an Edmonton-Calgary series.
Yo.
And I need it so bad.
Please, that would be amazing.
Yeah, so Edmonton and Calgary would just be a bloodbath.
I need it.
The last few times Philly and Pittsburgh have met in the playoffs, they've just been incredible series where neither goalie could stop a beach ball.
Oh my god.
There were like 7-8 games.
Yo.
It was insane.
I'm here for that.
And they were so fun, but God, poor Fleury when he was with Pittsburgh still.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. The series were insane, but they were so fun, but I just need Edmonton and Calgary so badly just to see the shenanigans that would go on.
Oh, yes.
Ugh.
Oh, yes. Give it to me immediately.
Yes. And, I mean, the broadcasters in Canada would be going crazy, too, because their numbers would be through the roof.
Right, yeah. Oh, my God. Imagine.
Ugh. Or if that was, like, a second-round matchup, even, because then, like, even more is at stake.
Exactly. Oh, my God.
So good. I don't know if they could meet in the conference final. I guess it would depend on the standings, but neither of them I feel are going to drop into a wild card. But if they could, if that was a conference final, oh my god. So good. Inject it directly into my veins. And more playoff implications. This is also from March 4th, but Greg Wyshynski tweeted, have we discussed how murderous the Canes' schedule is in March? They have 16 games in 27 days.
Oh my god.
With back-to-backs with travel every weekend.
These poor guys.
And they didn't make a trade for the goalie at the trade deadline.
Oh.
They're still running Nedeljkovic and Forsberg.
Oh my god. They've got a home and an away game every single weekend.
Every weekend. And let's see, their weekend matchups, they're not a breeze. So you have the Islanders and Pittsburgh. They already played those two games. Let's see. Right. Can you look up how they did in those?
Yes, I can.
And then this coming weekend, they have Pittsburgh again, and then Buffalo. And I mean, Buffalo is like driving an 18-wheeler off a cliff right now. Then you have Ottawa, which is winnable, but they're also playing for pride.
They actually won both of the games.
They won both of them.
The Highlanders and the Hurricanes. 3-2 against the Highlanders and 6-2 against the Pens.
Can you see who the goalies were?
I can do that.
And then they have Pittsburgh again at the end of the month. I don't know why they played Pittsburgh so much.
Forsberg played against the Islanders.
Okay.
And Nedeljkovic played against the Pens.
And they won both games?
They won both games.
Damn, what were the scores again?
It was an overtime against the Islanders, 3-2.
Okay.
But against the Pens, it was 6-2.
Woo!
So
oh, okay, so their scoring came through for them.
They did. They did do that.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I have to look up where they are in the standings right now. They are in the second wild card spot currently.
Okay.
And they're tied in points with the Islanders.
Of course they are.
Oh!
Because of course they are.
Oh, God. And they have one more game against them on the 22nd. This is going to get interesting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, these poor guys.
This is going to get interesting. And the Rangers are right behind them. They're 3 points back. And the Rangers are surging. And you have Florida, who's still not really falling off, but they're not doing well. And then you have the bottom of that conference, which is just a wild cluster.
So how easy has their schedule been up until now?
I have no idea.
Such a hellish March.
I have no idea. But 16 games in 27 days. They
insane.
Play every other day.
Yeah.
And then have the back-to-backs every weekend.
Every other day.
Who made this schedule?
All month. Every Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday.
Yep. Wow.
Every single week. That is their schedule.
Wow.
Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Mm.
Jesus Christ. These poor guys.
That's wild. Yeah, at least most of them are in the Eastern Conference, so they don't have to travel to, like, California.
Right.
But still. Yeah. So they had Philly, the Islanders, Pittsburgh, Detroit. Detroit's the farthest there. New Jersey's not too far. Pittsburgh again, Buffalo. So a lot of them are on the coast.
Right.
But then you have a wild St. Louis in there. And then Toronto's a little further. So it's not...
Where's Ottawa?
I
don't know my Californian, my Canadian geography I'm not up on. I know where Toronto is. I don't really know anything else. I know Montreal's like way over there somewhere, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Ottawa.
I could be looking this up.
We're a hockey podcast and we don't know where all of these places are.
No.
It is the capital of Canada. I knew that.
Okay.
It's basically right next to Montreal. It's between Montreal and Toronto.
So Montreal is not the one that's way over there. What's all the way over there? Is it Edmonton?
No, Edmonton and Calgary are all the way over here.
That's what I meant. Like
way west. Okay, no. Way west, I mean, you have Vancouver.
Right.
But then you have Calgary and Edmonton.
Okay.
Which are basically stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
And then Winnipeg is above Minnesota, and then you have Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not too far, but it's
Why
still
did I think Montreal was west?
I have no idea.
I'm tripping. I don't know my Canadian geography. I'm sorry.
I didn't know where Massachusetts was.
That's true. It's true.
We are American, and they don't teach us geography about other countries
Not about
in our
other
schools.
Countries.
So
I had to label every country in Africa in 7th grade.
Do you remember them?
Not to this day, no, but I think I scored pretty well on that test at that point.
There you go. They should have at least taught us about Canada and Mexico, like we're attached to them.
Right, you would think.
But alas, this is American schools we're talking about here.
And I was in gifted.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Yeah. And then there was weird American League news.
Okay.
So this was tweeted by Tony Andrakidis.
Andrakidis.
Yep, I probably butchered that. This was on March 6th. Sources have told Inside AHL Hockey there would be a bit of affiliation shuffling as a result of Vegas relocating an AHL team to Nevada.
Which we knew was coming.
We knew because they took San Antonio, which is the Blues affiliate, and they're moving them to Vegas area and becoming their affiliate, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, he said, I'm hearing the Canes might be moving their AHL operation to Chicago, which would leave Charlotte for Florida.
So who is losing affiliation? San Antonio.
Yes, which is St. Louis, and they signed with the Springfield Thunderbirds, which is currently Florida's affiliate.
Okay.
Which is in Massachusetts.
Oh.
And I don't understand that. Why didn't they just go back to Chicago? Like,
right.
But then the weirdest part is the Canes might be moving to Chicago, even though
Charlotte is right next to...
Yeah. Like, you have Charlotte and Raleigh right there. Why would they move when their affiliate's right there?
Right. Why would Florida want to come all the way up to Charlotte? Where is Florida currently?
Springfield.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah. They're in Massachusetts, so they get closer, but the Canes go from, like, neighbors to being half a country away. That doesn't make any sense to me.
None of this makes any sense.
That makes absolutely zero sense. I don't understand why that would happen.
No. Chicago's just a fucking mess, man. You never know who they're going to be affiliated with or why.
Like, Florida lost their affiliate because St. Louis signed with them, so why wouldn't Florida just go to Chicago? Instead of the Canes moving and then Florida taking theirs.
Why do the Wolves exist?
I mean, that's a good question, too.
That's all I want to know. Why are they there?
That is a good question.
Their fans are confused. They think they're Chicago fans, but they're not.
Right.
Like, there's just... Why are you fair.
It's very odd.
It's a terrible arena.
Yeah.
Terrible fan base that doesn't know what they want.
Allstate is bad.
Man, it's just...
Yeah.
Just get rid of Chicago.
I agree. But this just made it even more weird.
It did. Why would we have the Canes? I don't want to have a rivalry with the Canes. Like...
I mean, we don't have a rivalry with Vegas.
No. But they're going to be in different uniforms. They got to change the uniforms, right?
No, the Wolves have always had the same uniforms.
Huh.
Even when they had Vancouver and
right,
St. Louis.
Because we were just talking with somebody about how they didn't have the shoulder patch of their affiliation.
Which is weird. Like, they could at least do that.
Yeah,
they don't have to
show
change
you
their
have
colors.
some type of affiliation.
I don't know.
It's a patch. Like,
the Wolves are just a mess.
I'm saying, that's my whole bottom line here.
Bottom line, the Wolves are a mess.
Bottom line.
But it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And then we move on to some fun news.
Okay.
This was from March 7th, so a couple days ago, from Chris Ryan. The Devils traded Wayne Simmons to the Sabres to give him a shot at a playoff race, even if it was a long shot. The Devils now have more points than the Sabres.
That sucks, dude.
Because the Sabres have been...
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Did you see Jack Eichel deleted all of his social media?
I did, and that is horrible. That is terrible that people will bully someone to that point. Oh man, that sucks.
I just don't know what's going on in Buffalo. I don't know what's ever been going on in Buffalo.
Hockey players go there to die. They lose their love of the game.
Pretty much, but like what is wrong in Buffalo?
I don't know.
They've changed GMs, they've changed coaches a lot. They've cycled through basically a whole new generation of players, and it just still hasn't gotten any better.
Why are they so consistently terrible?
I have no idea. They were on like the same pace as Edmonton with the rebuilding, but still being very, very bad. But I guess Edmonton just lucked into McDavid and Draisaitl.
Right.
And Buffalo's only lucked into Jack Eichel. And
Guess.
they have Darlene, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Buffalo. But sticking with the Devils, this is from March 8th, so yesterday, from Corey Masisak.
Yep.
The New Jersey Devils are 11-4-5 since the All-Star game. 27 points in 20 games.
Oh my god.
They've beaten the 3rd, 4th, and 5th best teams in the NHL. If they keep up this pace, they'll finish with 86 to 87 points. And a lot of time spent this summer trying to determine what was sustainable and what was a small sample spike.
Oh,
and I just want to say...
What do you want to say?
Where were these Devils the whole season? Because I chose them to win the cup, and they stunk!
Yeah, they did.
And now that they don't have a chance in hell, they're playing well. Yeah, I don't get it.
That's how it works.
Why?
I don't have that answer.
Because I chose them?
Yes.
So they were like, no.
We'll show Courtney.
Yeah. And then they trade Taylor Hall and get better?
Oh my god.
What?
How does that work?
It doesn't.
Oh, but it did.
It did. I don't get it. I'm mad at them. I will be forever mad at them. But Philly might have figured out their goaltending situation for once since having Ron Hextall in net, maybe?
Okay.
This was from the NHL Public Relations Twitter on Saturday. Carter Hart collected his 20th home victory of 2019-20 in only his 24th appearance. He's only lost 4 games at home.
Damn. He
matched the franchise mark for fewest contests to achieve the feat, joining Bernie Parent with 24 games played in 1976-77 and Wayne Stevenson with 24 games played in 75-76. I also don't understand what's going on with Philly.
Are they good or are they bad? They're good, right?
Yeah. Yes. They're second in their division. And they have 89 points. So they're tied with Washington.
So they're really good.
But they're, like, doing it very quietly.
Yes! Nobody's talking about them.
No. Which is very weird.
Which is weird because I don't think anybody expected them to be great.
No, like, Philly's always just kind of one of those teams you expect to be okay to good.
Yeah.
But now they're second in their division, tied for first, and you don't hear anything about them.
No, I don't understand.
like, if you would have asked me without looking at the standings, where's Philly, I would have been like, I don't know, wild
maybe
card.
A wild card, exactly.
This is such a weird season.
That it is.
I don't understand any of it.
No.
And Tampa has quietly stormed back to being the Tampa Bay that they
are supposed to be.
Yeah. They're only 6 points behind Boston, who couldn't lose a game.
Oh my god, their goal differential.
At the beginning. Though. Yeah.
Plus 51.
Plus 51.
Don't look at Detroit. Don't do it.
I feel like they've gotten better. Weren't they like minus 121?
It was like 121, yeah.
Now it's 119?
Negative 119.
That's so bad.
That's just unfathomably terrible.
And they beat the Blackhawks on Friday.
God damn it. They really did that.
They did that.
They did that.
Yeah, they did.
Fuck.
They did that. And in the last piece of fun news from Ryan S. Clark yesterday, that was Joe Thornton's 420th career goal, and he got it against a team from Colorado. Do what you will with this bit of information. So that's just fun.
Just a fun little
tidbit. Just fun. But then we move on to depressing, because we're going to our teams.
We're going to our teams, aren't we?
Yes. And I'm going to start with the most depressing bit of news.
Okay, so it's all uphill from this terrible point.
I mean, sort of.
Okay. I don't know what you have prepared, so...
Well, probably the saddest story I've seen all fucking year so far.
Oh, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, yesterday, the Blackhawks showed a memorial video on the Jumbotron for Kiss Cam. And then they tweeted out, earlier this year, Earl Deutsch, a face familiar to many Blackhawks fans for his frequent Kiss Cam appearances, passed away at the age of 93. Earl's wife and best friend of 70 years,
my heart.
Rosalie, along with other members of their family, joined us for tonight's game. And they showed her on the screen, and they showed a video of all of their Kiss Cam appearances, and I was sitting at my kitchen table just bawling.
Sobbing.
After I had eaten a grilled cheese. I was just like crying into the plate. Watching the video. It's like, this is the saddest thing I have ever seen.
Just imagine 70 years with somebody.
70 years.
How do you go on? How?
I don't know. I guess maybe you just come to accept it once you get to be a certain age.
That's more than a lifetime for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like...
70 years!
Damn, dude.
And they had all the videos saved up from their Kiss Cam appearances.
Were they season ticket holders?
They must have been.
Yeah.
They must have been. I'm not sure if they were or not.
I feel like I saw in a video it said they were season ticket holders of like 40 years.
Okay. Yeah.
But
either way, they were always on the Kiss Cam. And I remember seeing them. Yeah. They're like this cute old couple.
Exactly.
Just
you're like, oh,
kissing on Kiss Cam. I didn't realize it was a thing, but...
That poor woman.
Yep. I don't know how she wasn't sobbing in her seat while they were showing that video.
Oh my god, I would have just fallen apart.
Yeah. I'm glad we weren't at the game. Oh my god.
No, I would have been a mess.
Yeah.
Just straight up...
Oh yeah.
Blubbering puddle of...
Yep.
JACALYN.
Yep. So that was the depressing news from yesterday.
Okay. On to some less sad things.
Yeah, so March 3rd, let's see, who did they play on March 3rd? They played the Ducks on March 3rd. So, some first to celebrate tonight.
Come on, man.
Lucas Carlson tallied his first NHL point with an assist.
Good job, Luke.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah. I never should have opened my mouth. I never should have said anything.
Yep. You went on that whole rant about him, and then he got called out.
I was saving that rant up for like 3 weeks, too. I just kept forgetting.
Yep.
And then I finally got to it, and now he's some great NHLer. Okay.
Well, no, now he's a concussed NHLer.
Now he's hurt. But before he got hurt, he was doing great. Yep. Everybody loved him.
And then, same game, Malcolm Subban kind of made his Blackhawks debut.
What was he out there for, like 30 seconds?
It was like a minute or two. Right. I don't think he faced a shot.
I was going to say, I don't think he faced anything.
Yeah, like they were in the Hogs zone, but I don't think Anaheim got any shots off. So he sort of made his debut. Like, he was on the ice. I wouldn't say he really played.
No, he was in the net.
But he was there.
He was there.
Yeah.
He was in uniform and he was on the ice.
Yeah, because Corey took a knee to the side of his head. And the spotters left it up to the training staff whether to take him out or not, and so they took him out for a minute, and apparently he was fine, so they shoved him back in there to finish the game.
Yeah, he said it was just his neck that kind of took the brunt of it, but like...
Yeah, but like...
Dude, you're Corey Crawford. You have issues with concussions.
Right.
Like,
you can't get another one.
No.
I almost figured out a way to jump through my TV and strangle Ryan Getzlaf when I saw that happen.
What was I doing on the 3rd? I feel like I was doing something... What day was the 3rd? Tuesday. Tuesday. If it was Tuesday night, I was driving home. I was on my way home, and I was driving, so I was just getting notifications to my watch.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So I was getting notifications to my watch, and I saw that Corey had taken a knee to the head, and he was being pulled from the game, and I'm like, fuck, Leonard's gone, like, we're done for. Like,
right.
This is it. It's over. Like, my mom was sleeping in the seat next to me.
So you can't even, like,
so
scream.
I'm just sitting there, like...
Yeah, we're just going to run a tandem of Malcolm Subban and Colin Delia.
Yeah.
And it'll be like the dark days all over again.
Yeah, well...
I really don't understand why Subban hasn't gotten a full game yet.
Me either. Corey started like 9 in a row.
Yeah, and we had a back-to-back. Like, he should have...
We lost that back-to-back.
To Detroit.
I'm not going to blame it on Corey.
No, it was,
Absolutely
like, 2-1? So...
Yeah, no, but like...
But, I mean, if we lost anyway...
Right.
Not that you know that. Like, hindsight is 20/20, but...
Obviously,
but...
Fucking give the backup a chance, dude. Like...
It's not
There's no reason to run Corey into the ground.
And it's not like he's just some guy that you traded for that was in the AHL for the last 3... Like, he's an established NHL backup. He's not great, as we
that's why he's not a starter. He's a backup.
Before. Right.
Which is fine.
But you have
Your
to
team
at least...
can use a backup.
Give him a chance. You have to rest your starter.
Please.
But they didn't.
But they did not. Load management does not exist.
It doesn't.
Nope.
From that same game, Boquist and Doc assisted on tonight's first goal, marking the first time in NHL history multiple players born in the 2000s factored on a goal.
Oh, God, they're such babies.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, old as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're so young.
They're children.
They're so young.
They are children.
That just makes me remember when... I was talking to my little brother about something that happened when I was little, and he goes, wow, you were born way back in the 1900s. And I'm like, oh, God, my chest just caved in. Way back in the 1900s.
Way back in the day. Back in my day, there was a 19 at the beginning of our years.
1900s.
Oh, child.
Can we pause? My mom's calling.
So the rest of this news doesn't really get less depressing.
Okay.
So on the March 6th game, which was against the Wings, Boquist injured his right wrist. No, it was before the game. It was the game on the 5th against the Oilers. So he didn't play in the game against Detroit. I read that wrong.
Okay.
Yes. So obviously they just needed Boquist in order to defeat the big bad Red Wings.
Yeah. That was the key.
Yeah, they needed his Swedish charm.
Because we don't have Erik Gustafsson's Swedish charm anymore.
Thank God! Yeah, so that sucked. But then he came back for the game against the Blues yesterday.
You mean the one that we got shut out on?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah. And he's now in concussion protocol.
Yeah, he is.
Because he got hit by Oscar Sundqvist, who got a $5,000 fine today, which is the maximum allowable under the CBA for roughing. I don't know how it was roughing.
I called that roughing.
Did you see the play?
I saw the hit.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what he was going for with that.
No.
It looked like he went to touch the puck and just kind of launched himself in the air.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the GIF, and I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense. So I had to find the video. And I was like, this still doesn't make any sense. So Sundqvist and Boquist are...
Both of the QVs.
Are going towards the puck on the boards. Boquist is facing the wall. Sundqvist has his back to him.
Which is why I thought maybe it would be boarding, but I guess he didn't really hit him into the boards.
No.
He just hit him by the boards.
So then, I believe Sundqvist reached out with one arm to hit the puck, to touch it first. And then the hand that was holding his stick came up, and he kind of, like, got Boqvist in the face with his forearm.
Yeah.
As he was jumping.
Yeah,
I'm still not sure why he left the
ice.
I'm still not sure why that happened.
Uh-huh.
I watched it a few times. I'm like, I don't understand.
Right, I kept watching it, trying to make it make sense.
Like, clearly he was trying to do a reverse hit, I think. I say that, I say clearly, and then I'm like, I don't actually know what he was doing. I don't think it's clear. In my opinion, he was trying to do a reverse hit. I still don't know why he left the ice to do that. But he got the forearm, hand, wrist area to Boqvist's head.
Yeah.
So they couldn't call it elbowing because it wasn't elbow.
It wasn't the arm joint.
It kind of seemed like he missed him with the elbow. Like, that's what he was going for.
But then...
Which makes nothing better, almost worse.
No, yeah, definitely.
So he gets the butt end...
was to elbow.
He gets the butt end of the stick to Boqvist's face. He goes down. Obviously, like we said, he's in concussion protocol. Mm-hmm. And then Drake Caggiula injured his right hand afterwards in the scrum because everybody on the ice was fighting because they injured Boqvist.
But, like, I kept seeing tweets about Drake Caggiula should not be fighting in the first place because he has concussion issues.
Fair.
And getting punched in the head is not conducive to that.
It's not.
But, like... Then he injures his own hand fighting. Like, good for him for standing up for him, but at the same time...
You do need to watch out for yourself.
Yes.
Is Caggiula a... Let's see. Cap friendly. I need to look this up right quick. Let's see. Blackhawks. Take me to the Blackhawks.
I think you were there.
No, I'm on... Oh.
You are there.
How did that happen?
You clicked on the logo.
Oh, I thought I clicked on Hagel's name. Who got freaking called up today on an emergency basis. So
probably because
that's great.
Wait, no, isn't Hagel a forward?
Yeah, and so is Caggiula.
I was thinking Boqvist. Okay.
No. Okay. So there he is. Yeah, so Caggiula's an RFA at the end of the season. So I'm guessing he's maybe playing for a contract.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Which I get, but also, like, you're not going to get a contract if you're injured, so...
Mm-hmm.
So that was... I don't hate the move that he stood up for Boqvist. I understand the concussion thing, but, like, who else on the team is going to do it?
Right. I mean, Doc was out there, Keith was out there.
They were all skirmishing.
Yes.
But there was one fight.
Yes, and it was...
After the refs tried to break it up.
Yeah, they thought they had it under control.
And then they very much did not.
No, not at all.
No. So Caggiula went after him. And this was a conversation I was having with my dad last night, actually. Because he was watching the game. I wasn't. I was taking advantage of the nice day. And I skipped both of our losing games.
Okay.
But he was saying how the Hawks need to get grittier because they have so much skill, but nobody's afraid of them.
Right.
And I was like, before this year, I would have thought that's an outdated thought process because it was for a couple years.
Right.
Where the league was just trending totally skill-based and tiny little players.
Yes, and speed and skill and no grit. Right.
And I was like, well, I don't think the problem is that the Hawks are small, necessarily. Like, we do have some short players, but I'd say they're a pretty average-sized team overall. It's that nobody's really willing to get physical.
I feel like that's why they brought Andrew Shaw back.
And yes,
now he's where he is.
Has a concussion.
Uh-huh.
Do you recall how he got it?
I absolutely do not.
Me either.
Was it fighting or was it a hit?
I don't feel like it was a fight, but I could be... It's been so long at this point. I don't even remember what happened to him. No. And Caggiula's first concussion this season was getting a puck to the head, right? I think he actually took a Boqvist shot to the head.
He might... I think you're right. Wow.
It's funny how that works out, eh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the concerning thing about Boquist getting a concussion is he had some concussion history before the draft, which was what turned a lot of people off from him and how he fell to us at 8.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that he just doesn't have one at all.
Yeah, and it's just the protocol.
Right. But it's just, things get so murky when you start putting concussions into the conversation. Then at some point you're
because
like,
they're so unpredictable.
Right. At some point you're like, why do people even play sports?
Honestly.
Because it doesn't matter what sport you're in, you're going to get a concussion.
It's physical. It's just happens.
It doesn't matter the sport. It really doesn't. You're using your body to do things, even if you're playing a one-person sport. Like, I don't know.
Right.
What's a solo? Golf.
Golf
Golf is a solo sport. Somebody could have a club slip out of their hands, you get nailed in the head. Concussion. Yeah. Like, it really doesn't matter. And
I mean, I've had a concussion, and it was from a box of nails falling off of a shelf onto my head when I was working at a warehouse.
Yeah.
Like,
so I guess, like, why do you even leave your house at this point?
Honestly, like,
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, Kajula needs to watch out for his head. Mm-hmm. Please watch out for your head. But also, it's good that he stuck up for his teammate.
Right, I'm not down on him for that.
It's just a very touchy subject, understandably so.
Yes.
And it's hard to talk about because you don't want to be like, forget about the concussions, just go in there and wreak havoc. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, be like, you kind of need to stand up for your teammates.
Yeah.
It's
a lot.
I don't know. I don't know what would get rid of the fighting. I don't know if penalties being more severe or refs actually calling things consistently. I don't
feel like either of those would even solve the problem.
I don't feel like they would either because it's so ingrained in hockey.
Exactly.
The fighting. And I'm one of those people who likes fights in hockey. I don't want to get rid of it.
Egregious fighting.
No.
But, like, there's definitely times
there's a time and a place.
For the fight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I understand the argument to get rid of it. I don't know. Same. I'm just not there yet, I guess.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's time for it to be outlawed in the game.
I don't think there needs to be unnecessary fights.
Of course not.
Right off of the face-off at the beginning of a game. Like,
at the beginning of a game, yeah, no, there's no reason for that. No. I don't care if you have a rivalry, like...
Right. Let the game play out first and see how it goes. Yeah. But, I don't know, sticking up for a bad hit...
It sounds like a good reason to be fighting.
Yeah. Because the alternative to that is we have one of our defensemen, Olimata, who I don't know if he has any sort of edge to him at all. So Corey took that knee to the head, right?
Yeah.
Didn't do anything.
Nope.
And then, what was the other game?
I don't remember who it was against. Was it the...
It might have been it was the Red Wings game because it was Filppula in the crease.
You're right.
Corey had to shove him off.
Shoved him off.
Yeah, and Mata, like, even kind of pushed him on top of Corey. Like, and then just stood there.
Like, Oli, my boy, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
The whole point is to defend your goaltender, like...
And he is signed for 2 more years after this year at $4 million.
Who are our RFAs?
Our RFAs are Slater Cuckoo,
Matthew
Highmore, Dylan Strome, Kubalik, oh god.
Oh no.
and Kajula.
Okay.
And Malcolm Subban.
Okay.
Oh, and then we have our guys in Rockford, 14, Nielsen, McCoshin, Yoni. Oh no!
Yoni!
They better sign Tulola. Oh god, Kevin.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up just a second ago when you said,
Go for it.
Okay. When you were talking about how, did you say Boquist is up at the end of the season? No,
Kajula.
Kajula, yeah, he's up at the end of the season, and now he is injured. Well, you see...
So is Kevin.
Kevin, our lovely, lovely, sweet angel of a goaltender down in Rockford, got shoulder surgery and will be out for
4 to 5 months.
4 to 5 months. And he is an RFA at the end of this season, which makes my heart hurt lots.
Yeah, I saw that news, and then the realization that he was a free agent sunk in, and I just kind of sat there with my face in my hands for a very long time.
Oh, there's that, and then we signed another goalie to a PTO.
Right. Nalimov finally came over. He was a draft pick in 2014, I want to say. Mm-hmm. I think I have that down here with the year on it. Shh. Nope, it's not. It doesn't have the year. Anyways, Ivan Nalimov, who was playing in the KHL, finally friggin' signed. He was putting off signing forever because he didn't want to play in the American League. He wanted to play in the NHL. Right. So he just stayed in Russia. This. But now he signed a PTO, and we'll see if he even gets to play. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen?
Tommy just got his first game in, like, a million.
I mean, Colin was playing so well.
Right, yeah. I get going with the hot hand, but, like...
Yeah.
I feel like Tommy's just sitting there. Again.
I just don't know why we feel the need to run the 3-goalie system.
I hate it so much.
Why couldn't you sign Nalimov in the summer?
I don't know.
Why do you have to sign him?
Why did it have to be now?
I mean, his contract did get terminated in Russia because he stunk this year.
Oh.
So there was that.
Great! Awesome! He was
really good before.
Okay.
This year, not so much. Let me give you some numbers here.
I don't know if I want them. I did not know that his contract was terminated for this reason.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's the reason why. I just saw the numbers and they weren't great.
I'm sure it was factored.
Let's see here. Let's go back to his... Okay, so in 2014-15, he had a 900 save percentage. 15-16, a 908. 16-17, 902. And then a 942 in 17-18. And a 927 with a different team. I don't know how the KHL works. He's played for 2 teams every season. So I don't know how this works. And then 18-19, he had a 917 in both. And then this year he had a 911. So it's not
terrible.
It's not terrible. The numbers I saw before, I don't know. I saw a tweet on the Twitter machine that made it sound a lot worse than it was.
Okay. That happens.
Yeah. I don't know. He's 25. 6'4". We took him in the 6th round. Dang. I don't know. But he's been a promising prospect this whole time and yet just refused to sign here. So it's just it's interesting to me that he finally signed.
Right.
And Kevin's injured. So I don't know if they're just not planning to re-sign him, or they're not going to re-sign Subban. That's a very real possibility, which I would be fine with. I would rather keep Kevin over Subban at this point. I guess maybe... Well, we don't even know the starting goalie situation in Chicago.
We have no idea.
Because they haven't extended Crawford.
No, Corey's still up in the air.
I thought maybe after March 1st, with the tagging rules and whatnot, they would announce a contract, even like a 1 year.
Nope, nothing.
They didn't do that. There's no way in hell Leonard's coming back.
No, God, no.
I don't even want it to happen at this point, you know?
I feel like there would just be bad blood, like...
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to look fondly on his interactions with the front office.
Right.
Here. He feels like he was disrespected.
I don't know.
He doesn't feel like he got his due.
It really sucked at the time, and maybe it's just because the Hawks did rattle off 4 in a row. You're like, oh, we don't need Leonard.
Right.
Obviously, they've lost 2 in a row now, but I don't know. It sucked at the time. It was nice to have him. Obviously, he's a fantastic goaltender. Not saying anything to...
discount that?
Yeah. But, I don't know. We traded him. Time to move on. Whatever. Yeah. He's not coming back.
No.
He's going to play somewhere else. Totally fine. I'm just surprised that they haven't announced an extension for Crawford. And maybe that's because they're going to play out the season and they don't want to have him on the books if he does get injured again.
Right.
I could see that being a possibility.
All it takes is one more guy running him.
And nobody sticking up for him.
Nobody getting in the way.
Nobody did a goddamn thing after he got a knee to the head.
Nothing. It's mind-blowing.
It is.
That's what you're there for.
Right.
Do something.
And then yesterday, I have 2 tweets from Tracy Myers, and the first one was, Jake Allen faces his first shot from Chicago in the 3rd, with 7:58 remaining in the game.
Fucking joke.
So they were losing. want to say they were maybe they were down 2-0 at that point.
I think they were.
They were? Okay. So they're down 2-0, and they get their first shot on goal in the third period with under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah. 12 minutes into the third period, they finally get a shot off.
So there's that one, and then she tweeted right after that, considering the situation, they were only a couple points out of a wild card spot, and only down 2 goals. The third period from the Blackhawks makes you say, huh.
A lot of things from the Blackhawks make me say, huh.
Yeah, and I don't know, I see a lot of tweets like this team hasn't quit, and obviously they haven't. They won 4 in a row against some very, very good teams.
Right, it's doable.
Well, they won 3 against good teams, and then there's the Ducks. They're not such a good team. But they won 3 games against at least 2 playoff teams and 1 trying to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the team hasn't quit, but at the same time, they just don't have a killer instinct, I feel like.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, like you go into the third period, and even if they have a lead, you're like, what's gonna happen? Who knows?
Right.
Like you don't feel confident.
It could go either way.
It could. They're
not there to defend their lead if they have it.
No. They're not there to defend a lead. They're not there to defend their own teammates, except for Kajula, and now he's injured from doing so.
Yeah.
I don't know what this team thinks it is. Because they're refusing to rebuild. They're not really retooling because they traded away their younger goaltender.
Right.
In the process and didn't really add anything great by trading him or Gus.
No.
So they're not really retooling. They also didn't take on any bad contracts in order to get a prospect or anything of the like. So I don't know what they think they are. I don't know. Do they think that they're a contender and they just need to get on a roll to get there? I don't get it.
Do you think Colleton sticks around after this season?
I hope not.
I'm with you.
And
I hate it.
And I really...
Send him back.
I truly don't think it's his fault.
I don't either, but I don't think it's going to work with him there.
I agree. Just
something
whether the players just don't want to listen to him or it hasn't worked for this long so they don't think it will, so that's why they're not listening, or... I don't know. I think he needed more time in the American League as a coach before stepping into the NHL, even though it was Q's time to go.
Yeah. I feel like they could have, let Crawford run it for a while.
Right. If they were going to sign him anyways. I mean, they hired him in the summer, so they could have let last season play out with Q and then hired Mark Crawford.
Right.
Let him take over for a bit and then transition Jeremy into an assistant coach and then taking over.
Exactly. But no, they threw him right into the deep end.
Because they still thought they were a contender and maybe still do, so they don't...
See, the thing is that they could be if they really tried for it.
If they would do things correctly.
But they can't connect.
It's like they're trying to rush everything. Because they don't want bad PR. But being a terrible team...
will get you bad PR.
Yeah. And trading a fan favorite in Leonard when he was here.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't get it. And I'm not opposed to either of the moves that we made at the deadline anymore. I didn't like it on the day of. Mm-hmm. I'm over it now.
I still don't think we got back what we gave.
No, I totally agree with you on that.
But I'm not, going to keep yelling about it.
No. It's a moot point. Right now.
It happened. It is what it is.
Right. There's no changing it. You can be upset about it, but I can't even really find it in me to be mad about it. I wish we would have gotten more, but we didn't, and that's that. I don't know. I did have that tweet up there about the cap raising, and Jay was saying how it'd be good for the Hawks and other teams, but I'm like, what are the Hawks going to do with it?
Right.
They have a couple of restricted free agents, yeah, but none that are going to demand a ton of money outside of maybe Kubalik.
And even that's not going to be, exponential.
Strome hasn't done himself any favors this season to get a huge contract. I don't think if they do re-sign Crawford, it's not going to be for $6 million again.
I would hope not.
So what are they going to do with more cap space? How is that good for them? You can't go out and sign an expensive free agent because... what's the point? Right. That's not going to push you over the edge to be a contender again. You have to rebuild. You have to do something, because what is happening now is not working.
Agreed.
And on paper, they should be a lot better than they are.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what is going on mentally, because this team has the skill. Is something's missing. The dots are not connecting in their heads, or it's a chemistry thing. I don't know.
I don't know either. Because it feels like they can just turn it on when they want to.
Right.
Which is the most frustrating thing.
It is.
Because, like, just fucking turn it on. If you are able to do that, do it.
Why isn't it a consistent thing?
Why can't you do that on the regular?
Yeah. And that goes back to the killer instinct, I feel. Like, they just get complacent. They have no room to be complacent. None. They have no reason to be complacent.
No.
I don't know if they're just so used to winning, they think their skill is just going to carry them, and then they lose, and they're like, oh, no.
That obviously doesn't work. I haven't even been watching the after-game, the press scrums or anything.
I only watch them when we win, just to keep my good feels going after the game, but...
I see Taves pop up on my timeline, and I'm like, I'm not even going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wanting to read some quotes before, after the trade deadline and whatnot, but now it's so far in the past. It's whatever. But he was talking about how when Leonard came in, he, taught him how to be a captain again and, brought leadership to the room. I'm like, no, you don't get to say this now, because... You guys sucked when he was here. What do you mean he taught you leadership and made you guys better? You guys sucked.
Yeah, he carried you.
Yeah, you don't get to be upset about this trade, because you're the reason this trade happened.
Right.
Because you're playing like shit.
Yeah.
And maybe, Taves himself isn't putting up, the worst season. He's got a decent amount of points for him. He's never going to be the point leader on our team. That's not his game.
Mm-mm.
But you're the captain, dude.
Yeah.
You have to motivate your team, and it's on the coach to get you prepared to go out and play, but at the end of the day, you're the leader of the team.
Exactly.
You've won 3 cups with this franchise, you and Kane both, and Keith. Mm-hmm. You guys need to fire up the young guys or the new guys to go out there and win games, and it's just not happening.
It's not.
So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I wish I knew. If I knew, I guess I'd be hired by the team and fix it, but I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating all around.
It is. I was listening to the Steve Dangle podcast, and I had this in the notes before, and then I erased it because I was just like, fuck it, whatever. But they were doing a question, their press conference thingy, and one of the questions was, what drastic team-changing move would you make for your team?
Yeah. I think I'm finally caught up. Maybe not. Nice. They release on Sundays, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't listened to that one.
Okay.
But everything before that.
Yeah. So I had that question in here for us to answer, and now I kind of just want to go back to it because I'm frustrated about this team all over again. So if you had to make one drastic team-changing move, what would it be?
Dude, I don't even know. Oh my god. Drastic team-changing move.
Who would you trade?
I don't even know what would help this team at this point, because,
Right.
Like I said, it looks like they can turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting rid of somebody isn't going to help that. Bringing somebody in, I can't see just fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
so if we're not trading anybody, my drastic move would be to make Kane the captain.
Okay, I was thinking change the captaincy, but I don't...
I don't feel like Taves is being a leader anymore.
Okay.
And if he is, he's leading them to hell. I don't know where he thinks he's leading this team, because it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere good.
Yeah. So, speaking of how they can just, turn it on and whatnot, I have the results since you and I recorded last.
Okay.
So, they lost to the Blues 6-5.
Okay.
Valiant effort. Mm-hmm. Everything broke down in the third. It was very frustrating to watch.
Okay.
Then they beat the Lightning 5-2. They beat the Panthers 3-2 in a shootout. They beat Anaheim 6-2. I mean, Anaheim sucks, but...
Who got the goals in the shootout?
Taves and Kane?
I think it's been them for, like, the past 3 shootouts, hasn't it?
I believe so. They always shoot first and second, so as long as our goalies hold up, then... Right. We're usually pretty money in the shootout. I mean, not when Leonard was here.
Well, but for some reason he just can't do it.
Yeah. And then they beat the Oilers 4-3, even though they almost gave that game up. It was, 4-1? And then they started... I was like, oh my god, they're really going to do this. But then they held it off.
First time.
Yeah. Then they lost to the fucking Red Wings 2-1.
Gave them what? Their 15th, 16th win of the season?
16th.
16th win of the season. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And then they lost yesterday to the Blues and got shut out 2-0. Because they didn't put a shot on goal in the third until 12 minutes had gone by.
Dude!
I am so glad I did not watch that game.
These are such easy fixes.
Shoot the puck!
Shoot the puck! Put the puck toward the net.
You have all the talent in the world. Why can you not get it through your head?
There's no reason
to shoot the puck.
There's no reason not to.
I don't get it. I do not get it. And then there's the IceHogs.
Oh, God.
There's the IceHogs who can't put together a streak either way.
I love them so much, and that is why it hurts so bad.
Exactly. So since you and I last recorded, they beat Texas 3-2 in the shootout.
Okay.
They beat Texas 5-4.
Okay.
They got shut out by San Antonio 3-0. They shut out Grand Rapids 4-0. They got shut out by Grand Rapids 3-0. 3 shutouts in a row. Yeah. It alternated. They got one of them, but lost the other 2. And then lost in overtime yesterday to Chicago.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Yeah.
We only need one more win against them to win the Illinois Lottery Cup.
And they just can't do it.
They just can't do it. We couldn't lose to them at the beginning of the season.
They got to 6 wins and we're like, nope, we're going to just, split the season series again for the 3rd season in a row. I don't understand.
Just one more fucking win against the Wolves. That's all I'm asking.
It's ridiculous. And the Central Division in the American League is ridiculous.
So tight.
And that's why I started this episode by saying welcome to the Gauntlet, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, every win counts.
Every win counts.
Every
loss can take you out. It's crazy. So, as the standings are right now, there's
this moment.
Milwaukee, obviously, with 88 points. You have Iowa with 82. Grand Rapids is back in 3rd with 63. Chicago and Rockford are tied with 62. Chicago's above us because they have a higher winning percentage. San Antonio's right below us with 60. Texas with 59. Manitoba with 55. So, aside from Milwaukee and Iowa, spots 3 through 8 are separated by 12 points.
So close. It's tight. It's tight as fuck. And
we would have 3rd in the Central all to ourselves right now if we could have just won that game on Saturday against Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
That game, if we don't make the playoffs this year, we're going to look back on that game being...
That's the one.
That's the one. Because we beat them Friday night, so we were in 4th by ourselves. Chicago was 2 points behind us coming into the weekend, but then they won a game and then took us to overtime, and blah, blah, blah. So now we're tied with points again. We can't seem to get away from being tied with the Wolves in points, and they still have 2 games in hand on us because we played 63, they played 61. Grand Rapids has a game in hand. They have 62 games played, we have 63, and we are 1 point behind them. So
this is not good news.
It's not. Every game you are moving one way or the other in the standings. Yeah, that's just how the season is playing out.
Right.
It's
every single point matters.
It's insane. And the games we have left, let's see.
Oh no. You're about to make me sad, aren't you?
So this weekend we play at Chicago.
Yeah, they don't play all week.
Yeah, they don't play all week
until Saturday.
So we play Chicago on Saturday. Huge points.
Yes.
We play Milwaukee next Wednesday.
That's a home game, right?
It is. I'm marking it up as a loss already, but...
Yeah, it's Milwaukee.
Who knows? They play Iowa next Saturday.
Also not good.
They play Milwaukee next Sunday.
Oh my god, we're fucked.
They play Texas that Tuesday. They play Iowa on the 27th and the 28th.
It's not easy for the rest of the season.
They play Chicago the 29th.
These are not easy points. Nothing has been easy points for them this year.
No. April 3rd, they play Chicago. The 4th, they play Milwaukee. The 7th, they play Texas. They play San Antonio on the 8th. Iowa on the 11th. And I believe that's the last game of the regular season. So all of the games coming up are against Central Division. And a few of them are against Milwaukee and Iowa, who have just been sitting atop the Central for the whole fucking season. Yeah. So that game against Grand Rapids was so important. Pivotal. So important. And they couldn't manage one goal.
Not one. When they shut them out the night before. Like...
Yeah. And I'm not at all putting this on our goaltender. It wasn't Colin's fault at all, but I...
Wait, wasn't Tommy in net for...
No.
It was Chicago.
I don't understand playing your goaltender back-to-back when there's 3 games in 3 nights. Just play Colin against Chicago.
Yep. It's
not a big deal.
Exactly. I know Tommy was 3-0 against Chicago for the season, which is probably why they chose him.
Probably, but...
But at the same time, that's still playing your main starter back-to-back on Friday and Saturday.
Just don't do it. And I get it. Ride the hot hand. He got a shutout. But let him take a rest. Please. And then jump back in on Sunday to round out the weekend. But instead, we lost both games. And yeah, we got a point out of the Chicago game, but...
It's still... We gave them a point. We gave them both points, but I mean...
gave them those 2 points. Yeah. Because we were leading... We were up 1-0, and then they tied it up, and then they went ahead, but they had barely any shots on goal.
Yeah, we were ahead of them in shot. Let me look it up, actually, because it was ridiculous. We had so many more shots than they did.
I believe at the end of the second, they had like 9 shots, and we had 20-something. Or we were at least double digits. It was maddening. And then we managed to tie it up in the third with Entwistle scoring. Took it to overtime. Hagel took a penalty, and they scored on the power play, but...
Shots on goal for the first were 15-3, Rockford. Shots on goal for the second were 14-6, Rockford.
Yeah, so they had 9
In the third,
goals.
It was 11-12, Chicago. And that was 4-0, Chicago in overtime. But yeah, 40-25 over the game. Like, we had a lot more shots on goal, just not when it counted.
Yep. And that's kind of how I felt about... that game on Saturday, too, because I watched that one. Mm-hmm. And they had all these shots, and I'm like, how? None of these look like high-danger chances.
Right. Why is our power play so bad?
I have no idea.
We were 0 for 4.
Well, because they won't shoot the fucking puck.
I mean, that'll do it. We were 0 for 4 in the power play, while they were 2 for 2.
Right.
So, like, yeah, that's 2 of the goals.
They won't shoot the puck, and even when they do, they take way too long to get the passes off or the shots off, so either the goaltender or the defense is lined up so they can either block the shot or make the save.
They have time to set it up. It's ridiculous.
I just want the season to be over at this point, and obviously I want the regular season to be over and playoffs starting with us in it. I don't want our season to be over, but this last month is just so stressful when we only play Central Division teams, and most of them are the ones above us. Yeah. We're only playing San Antonio below us. That's
Texas.
It. Texas is below us, too.
Yeah.
So we have, 2 games against Texas and 1 against San Antonio?
Something like that.
And the rest are Chicago,
Milwaukee, and Iowa.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
That's not promising.
If they can't string together a series of wins, it's not looking
If
good.
they can't fucking beat Milwaukee.
Yeah, no.
If they lose every game against Milwaukee, we're out.
We're out.
Unless
everybody else loses to Milwaukee, too.
There's that, I guess.
It's just... Like, giving points to Milwaukee doesn't hurt. It's losing those points.
Exactly.
That is going to kill us.
It's giving away the points to Grand Rapids and to Chicago that are hurting us.
Right.
It's Like, they know more than we do how much they need these points.
Obviously.
And yet they come out flat like that?
It's just disappointing to watch. Like, you can do it. I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
Fucking do it.
Just do it.
I don't know, man.
And it sounds funny to say they come out flat when they're getting all these shots on goal, but if they're just lobbing them toward the net, like, get the puck to the net.
Right, we've been yelling about that all season. They're finally actually shooting the puck.
But there's nobody there to clean up the rebound.
Right.
Like, they got the shooting part down, but if you would have gotten this part down in October, we could have been working on the rebounds now. And things would have progressed a lot quicker, and maybe we're at the top. In the top 3, like, nobody was beating Milwaukee this year, but we could have been solidly in 3rd place.
Right.
But no, we are just now learning how to shoot the puck on net in March.
In March! It's fucking March! The season is over in a couple of weeks.
And we're just now learning how to put the puck on net. Like, we can't learn putting the puck on net and also getting a net for a presence and also putting in rebounds within a month.
See, but they could. And that's what fucking sucks about this team. Because they're not in the playoffs, maybe in the playoffs, not in the playoffs, maybe in the playoffs, suddenly in the playoffs, or suddenly very close to being in the playoffs. Like, all you need is this one more game and you'll be in the playoffs. And then they can't follow through.
And then they can't win that game. It's like, where is the determination?
I feel like that's how it's been, like, the past 3 years.
It has.
It's been not in the playoffs, maybe in the playoffs. If we just win this one game, we'll be in the playoffs, and then maybe they'll make it, maybe they won't. Because the year that JACALYN was, like, doing crazy sweeps, they weren't in the playoffs. Like, probably in March. And then they just went on this crazy hot streak.
And suddenly they were in the playoffs and then swept the first 2 series.
Swept the first 2 rounds. Like, and then they couldn't win a game. But, like, that's why it's so frustrating, because you never know what to expect. Mm-hmm. They could do it. They could suddenly flip the switch. That's both teams in this fucking organization. Yeah. They can flip the switch, turn it on, suddenly they're an amazing team. But all the other times, it's like watching them in slow motion. Just not connect a pass.
Yeah.
Just skate around. Just lob the puck at the net and do nothing with it. Put it back in the fucking corner and can't dig it out. Like, it's the same shit over and over and over and over, and it's so frustrating.
I feel like
when they don't turn it on.
I feel like it's easier to watch if they're just consistently bad. Because you're like,
exactly. You know what to expect then.
Yeah, because, like, the first year we were season ticket holders or
those
whatever.
Those were the dark ages.
Yeah, we were like,
the Ted Dent days.
Yeah, we were like, this team sucks. But, like, hey, going to games is fun.
Exactly.
But now, it's like, what a game! They played so well! And then the night after, you're like,
who is this team?
Who is this team?
Where are they? Did they forget to show up? Like, I don't...
Yeah, why can't they pass to their own team?
How can they be so vastly different
night in and night out? I don't understand. Where is the consistency, and how do they find that consistency? Is it coaching?
I don't know.
So then all of the coaches in the organization need to be fired because it's an organization-wide problem.
It is.
Except in Indy. Indy's doing great. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So it's just Chicago and Rockford we need to worry about, and it's like everybody needs to be fired because nobody can bring out the best in these players.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Has Campbell been with us since we lost Boquist to Chicago? He's still been there?
Yeah. And he's technically not a coach.
He's just behind the bench?
Yeah.
Like, what is his title? Because I thought that he was here just to work with Boquist, but...
No, he's been here since Boquist has been
I haven't
gone.
been paying attention to behind the bench because I started getting very mad when I did that.
Yeah.
So I tried to just watch the play on the ice. But, man...
Just both of these teams are so maddeningly inconsistent. And if they just came out with a consistent effort either night, even if they took out, like, the lowest lows and the highest highs... Mm-hmm. I feel like at least one of them would be solidly in a playoff spot right now.
Yeah, I agree.
If they were just somewhere in the middle for the whole season.
Yeah.
And it would probably be Rockford because they're closer to a playoff. I mean, they're tied with Chicago, one win against Chicago, and we're in a...
Well, the Blackhawks have like a 6% chance of making the playoffs at this point.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
But
I hope it doesn't happen.
Me too. And then they rattle off those 4 in a row. You're like, this is a good team. And they start like pulling you in. And you're like, they can do it.
They can do it. But they won't.
Right.
But they won't.
But there's that little voice in your head, like, it's a possibility.
The little gremlin.
They can make the playoffs. And who knows what happens if you just make the playoffs.
Oh, because it's a totally different ballgame then. I mean, it's...
Yeah. And then they come out and lose to the fucking Red Wings.
Their 16th win of the season.
They
have lost 40-plus games. 45-plus games.
We win 4 in a row. And then lose to the Red Wings. Losing to the Blues is more stomachable because they're first in the division.
Right. It still sucks because it's the Blues. But
I was going to say, that's the only reason you can tolerate it, because, like, they're a good team, and we are not a good team. But you have to hope that you can at least luck into a win against them. Like, they swept the season series against us. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
This whole season is embarrassing. They were supposed to be better this year. They went out and signed Robin Lehner in the offseason, for fuck's sake. And then for the majority of the season, it was only the goaltenders carrying this dumb team because they just can't manage to get their heads in the game. You're making millions of dollars and you can't motivate yourself to go out and play hockey? I don't get it.
Where's our team therapist and why are they not?
They need a new one, apparently. Because this one isn't doing their job very well.
Obviously not. Like, I just don't understand. Consistency is like my biggest thing in every aspect of life. Right. If I'm driving on the highway and there's a slow driver in front of me, I'm like, okay, I can go around you. But if there's an inconsistent driver in front of me, you can't pass them, you can't stay behind them, you can't do anything except for also be inconsistent because they are controlling what you are doing.
You're right. And then you're just stuck and angry, which is how I feel with these 2 fucking teams.
That's my point.
I am stuck and angry.
Exactly.
Like I said before, it would be so much easier if they were just bad.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I can deal with a slow driver.
Yeah.
I can deal with them.
You can look for the positives if the team is bad. You can watch certain players and be like, I like how their season is going.
Yes.
But if they're just inconsistent, then that's when you end up with the anger. Because you're stuck and you're like, yay, my team. And then you're like, why? Why can't you win? Because I know you can win. You've shown me that you can come out and dominate a game. But where is that very next night?
It just doesn't exist. And it just disappears into thin air.
Yeah.
But why?
For no rhyme or reason. Why? No lineup changes at all.
No.
But one night, you get a team that absolutely dominates. Next night, they're passing to nobody.
Why are they like this?
And it's not even the level of competition. It's not like going from Milwaukee to, I guess, Manitoba. They're last in our division, but they're not even that bad.
Even that bad. No, our division's just that tight.
Take, like, the top team. Okay, it's like, it's not like Boston and Detroit.
Okay.
It's, you can be playing Boston and Tampa, and it would be the same thing. Right. Or Detroit and Buffalo. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter which 2 teams you're playing. Yeah. It's not like they're going out against a terrible team and dominating and then a great team and sucking. It has nothing to do with that. It's all, I don't know if it's all in their heads, if it's all in the coaches not getting them ready, if it's, I don't know what it is. I wish I knew. I wish there was an easy answer to fix this, but it's just not.
Yeah, that's plain and simple.
And like all we can do is sit here and yell at a microphone because our teams are inconsistent and we're stuck and angry.
Yeah, stuck and angry. Stuck and angry.
I just want one of them to make the playoffs.
And the Hogs can do it.
Right. It's obviously not going to be Chicago, but, like, at least give me the IceHogs in the playoffs.
I beg of you. I need IceHogs playoff hockey.
Right.
But not if they're going to play inconsistently.
Seriously. Just either be good or bad.
Yeah, pick one, please. Please. Just lose out the rest of the season. Okay, whatever. Like, I don't want that.
No, because at this point that would be frustrating because we know they can dominate games. If they started the season,
4th, right?
Yeah. Well, technically 5th. They're tied for 4th, but Chicago has the better win percentage because games in hand. if they started out the season sucking and still sucked the same amount, it's like, this is just a bad season.
Exactly.
It's frustrating, but that's just what it is.
But not acceptable. It's
just
bearable.
Yeah, but no. They go through spurts of sucking and then dominating and then sucking very badly. It
doesn't make any sense.
This last month is the gauntlet of hell.
In the AHL.
And I am not looking forward to it. Like, a lot of things you see online or whatever is like, this is when it gets exciting. This is why you watch sports. I'm like, no. No, I don't like being stressed out. This is not why I watch sports.
This is not exciting.
This is not exciting. This is stressful.
Yes.
This is anxiety inducing. Exciting is going into the season in October and your team wins the home opener. That's exciting.
That's exciting.
Playing Milwaukee and Iowa and Chicago multiple times in the final month of the season is not exciting.
That's not exciting.
This is not why I watch hockey, face these three teams.
Right. I feel like, okay, so we play Chicago and Milwaukee both 12 times this season, right?
Right.
And, like, what? A quarter of that is this month for Milwaukee? Like,
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Of course, we have to end the season playing them a ton. Because why not?
God,
they're the ones that knocked us out of the playoffs last year.
Oh, the Boat Boys.
By winning 3 in a row.
They weren't even that good last year.
Nope.
Why?
Nope, Chicago was the one that went to the final.
Yeah. I'm so glad they lost. I'm so
Me
glad
too.
they lost. Thank you, Checkers.
Yeah.
And now the Canes might be coming to Chicago. Like,
right. Even though the Checkers suck this year, so... I don't know.
Nothing makes any sense.
Nothing makes any sense. This last month, we will probably see our stability rapidly decline. Each episode is going to get more and more insane. I don't know how much we'll be focusing on other teams in the league because this is going to be rather stressful. But I guess if they just start losing out, we're not going to want to talk about them at all. So we might
there isn't going to be anything to talk about. They lost again. They lost again. They lost again.
We might just insert a little update into how badly they lost.
Right,
and then
because we are a Vegas podcast now.
Yes, but not a Chicago Wolves podcast.
No, absolutely not. They don't count.
No, it is not one and the same. These two things are very, very different.
Vastly.
So I guess with all of that anger and frustration, and this one has gone on longer than I was expecting it to, we will... There's going to be one IceHogs game before next week?
Yeah,
because they don't play a
Saturday.
fucking week?
Yeah.
In Chicago?
In Chicago. Yeah.
I feel the need to just, go to that game.
And then we have the season ticket holder dinner next Monday.
On Monday. Yes.
So are we recording after that?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, boy.
I'm just going to look like you and not have any hair left by the time this season, so I'm just going to be pulling it all out.
All right, we'll turn into the Baldies Blackhawks podcast.
Blackhawk Baldies. We're going to go through a rebrand.
Apparently.
New name for the podcast.
The Blackhawks Baldies. Oh, just imagine.
Oh, we're already losing our minds.
Oh, yeah. Mine's long gone.
I feel like we talked ourselves into a crisis here.
We did. We did not begin this way.
I wasn't feeling this horribly before I started talking through it.
I mean,
to be fair,
therapy does to you, right?
True.
You talk yourself into the crisis.
It is supposed to make you feel worse before you feel better. But I can't resolve any of this. It's up to 23 boys on the ice.
Ew.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm stressed out now.
Yes.
To be fair, I didn't look at the remaining schedule until I just read it to you.
Yeah, I had no idea that's what our March and April looked like.
No, that just made everything a lot worse. I'm glad I have therapy tomorrow, actually.
There you go.
Yeah, she's been gone for 2 weeks, so maybe that's why I feel like this.
That might be it.
Yeah.
Talk to her.
Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. So we will talk to you guys next week. I don't know how stable I am going to be, at least. I guess that depends on how this game against Chicago goes on Saturday.
Yeah. We'll have 3 Blackhawks games by then.
Oh, good. So. Good. I guess we'll know how far away from the playoffs they are.
They play San Jose.
Okay.
The Caps. And the Sens.
Okay. I've been reading on Twitter that the Caps aren't doing very well lately.
Didn't we just say that?
They're first in their division.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. So, like...
So does the whole division just suck?
No, I think they got off to, like, a really big lead, and now they aren't doing so great. But I can't even say if that's true or not, because I haven't been following what they're doing.
Right.
So now I need to look it up.
Okay.
Those are all 3 very winnable games, just like Detroit should have been. So I'm going to say they're not going to do as well. Okay, so going back to the trade deadline, which was the 24th, they won in a shootout against the Jets 4-3.
Okay.
The Jets beat them 3-0. They beat the Wild 4-3. The Flyers beat them 5-2. The Rangers beat them 6-5.
In overtime.
The Caps won 5-2. What are Caps fans complaining about? It's like every other game. You're first in the division. They're probably fucking resting for the playoffs. Stop complaining. Ooh, they are getting beat 2-0 by the Sabres right now, though.
Right now?
Yeah.
The Sabres, though?
The Sabres. Well, and they play the Red Wings tomorrow. This is great. Oh, God, they play the Sabres, the Red Wings, and then us.
Oh, lovely.
Great. We're going to get a pissed off Washington Capitals team.
Oh, God.
Awesome.
It's going to be like 8-2.
Oh, great.
Fucking Ovi's going to come out in monster mode.
Probably. All right. With that being said, I guess we will let y'all know how these stupid teams do over this week. 3 games for the Blackhawks, 1 for the IceHogs, and our sanity slowly slipping away.
Quickly.
So we will see y'all next week.
Bye.